Hey guys, welcome back. This is Protoman 111 with Let's Play Megaman Legends 2. Where we last left off, we were starting to do the Nino Island Ruins, so we'll need to get back to it. The reason why we're even back in the Flutter is because I was too busy herp derping and I have the wrong weapon equipped. Well, technically there is no wrong weapon, but for what we're gonna do, it's not the right weapon for that purpose. But let's go ahead and get started. Like I said in the previous I guess chapter, I don't know what to call it. This room will be a little different in the fact that we'll have to deal with water, something we didn't deal with before. Now going into this dungeon, you may want to take the drill arm with you as you head into the ruins. Recently, I've just had to do jury duty, sort of, kind of, so that's why I didn't pump one out Monday. It turned out that both of the cases that were to be tried and I could be potential juror for were actually canceled, so I get an easy 40 bucks for not doing the fucking thing, so that works out. So I do hope to actually continue doing this more frequently now that I don't have anything else going on in my life. So, but aside from that, let's get back to the topic at hand. On a side note, though, just to sidetrack one more time, if you've been through jury duty, let me know. I mean, let us know. I mean, what it was like for you. If it sucked, if it was great, what? I would imagine it's not great because it's jury duty. Nobody likes jury duty unless, you know, that's your kind of, I guess that's your slice of heaven, I guess. I don't know. I personally would rather be working as opposed to being in a jury room, you know, deciding somebody's fate. But, back to the topic at hand. I need to hurry up and stop screwing around since we've already seen this part. There's a door in the right, in this direction I'm looking at. Now, like I told you before with the jet shoes, if you hold forward as you come off of a ledge, you'll get a little boost. That little boost can actually get you over here. Okay. This room is an optional room. You could completely ignore it, not even care. It probably wouldn't be too impactful on you. This is one of those walls I was talking about. Use the drill arm and break it open. I like his invincibility box, like all halfway around his fucking body. Isn't that nice? Okay, also, if any of you guys are into fighting games, I know there's a Capcom, or not Capcom, sorry, a Street Fighter X Tekken, or you know, the crossover, right, game that they have. They put the old school Mega Man, you remember the Mega Man 1 box art, that was really crappy? Yeah, they made a character based off of that. Apparently he got mixed reactions, not entirely sure, but of course, that just pisses me off because, you know, Capcom's just saying, oh, we're just gonna do whatever we want. But regardless, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. You guys already know how I feel. I'm gonna be, I guess, tend to be negative about it. But, back to this game. This game, not sidetracking anymore. This room, I think, has any in it? Yes, it has any in it. So you could probably just ignore this room and it really wouldn't hurt you. You know? One of those optional rooms, but there is a bigger purpose as to why we're actually, oh fuck. Yeah, not running into the big spiky ball of death would be one, but no. The drill arm has a bigger purpose here later on, which I will show you when I get to that point. It'll make the boss fights here much easier, similar to the first Manda Ruins 2 went into. It's kind of the same concept, since this boss will most likely be stationary. But right now, we're in this dungeon, and there's no water yet, so but keep hearing me talk about water, but there will be water, trust me. Okay, like I said, one of these blocks. With the lifter, of course, normally you can't pick it up because it's way too heavy, so ignore it for now. Break this wall open. I think there's something more significant in this room, but I'm not entirely sure. And I happen to be doing this recording, you know, on the day that I had jury duty, that, you know, the particular case we got picked for was canceled, so that works out. This is a trap room. Do not press the button. Well, you can press the button. It's not like it's hard to fight the things, but I wouldn't. It's just a waste of time. This room should also have Tinny in it. No, mechanics notes. Mechanics notes 3. Like I said, with all other mechanics notes logs you get, go back to roll and use it like as if you were going to create an item with it. She'll tell you what they are, and then you can use whatever the result is for a weapon. But head back out this way.
That step's really high. Too high for you to jump. If there was something around there you could stand on, maybe you could get over it.
Even with that thing on its own, you can't jump high enough. So what do we have to do? How are we gonna get up there? Well, we'll find that out soon enough. But aside from that, and I lied before. I said before it was just down, down, down. Sometimes you'll go up and actually do different things. But see this button?
It looks like the floor beneath you is filled with water.
And thus begins my hatred of this particular ruin. I hate the water. It makes you move slow. So real quick before we continue on, hydro skates. These are the hydro skates. They don't do anything on dry land, but when you're in water, they propel you forward. Also, get used to fighting underwater because there's also another sub-ruin that's an S-class license ruin that you will need to get used to. And this is the slow water. But yeah, this is one of the things I hate. It takes a little bit to get used to this actual slowness.
Maybe something's changed now that this area is filled with water. Since things are lighter in water,
you can pick up things that you couldn't were able to before, i.e. this huge mofo right here. So now that we have some water, just chuck it against the wall, and we'll use it as a stepping stone basically to get up this cliff. And as you get to the top, oh, you suck. Slow motion fail, yes. This is part of the reason why I hate this particular ruin. Oh wow, why? Yeah, he's trolling me, apparently. Okay, throw it against the wall so you don't do what I'm doing twice over. I think you might need 2, not entirely sure. I've always done with 1 and never had a problem, but... yeah, you need 2. Apparently this is one of the few times where Megaman Legends does not activate at all, so, but whatever. So instead of herp derping, like I was a couple of minutes ago, come over here and grab this block and chuck it on top of the other one. Jumping is a faster way to get moving. It's also a nice way to get started running. Because when you start running, it's not going to be the immediate move fast. It's going to be kind of a slow build up. In certain boss fights, it helps to actually jump. That way you get a little bit of some momentum. You get started running a little faster. But, okay, now don't just jump straight down here. Take a look. It's a rambush. Well, no, not really, but... there's no point fighting these 2 guys. Just jump over them and continue forward. Give it in the, oh shit. Oh shit. Fuck. Oh, that was potential fail in the making, but... Okay, be careful with coming into here, because we got this guy here, you know. So long as you're not in their general path, they won't ever get used and try to run you over with their spikes. If you happen to be in the vicinity where they can actually run you over in this little square, they will get big and just start to rush you, so be careful. But other than that, this room I don't think has anything else in it. Since I don't got the map, it's not gonna help me. Yeah, there's nothing else in here. And these hydro decks actually make it faster to go through, since you move slower than dirt anyway. Thank God the boss fight, well, the mini boss fight I should say, is underwater, but the boss fight itself is not, so that's a good thing. It could be annoying, but it's a good thing. Yeah, see what I mean? You have to get used to the slowness. It's kind of annoying, but oh well. It's not a real big hassle. Once you get used to it, it's not such a bad thing. I mean, it helps you avoid some things a little bit more easily than if you were going normal speed. But I just hate moving slow in general. Yeah, that was my fail. And I misjudge a lot of distances because of the water. It's just because I have a problem judging distances sometimes. Speed is always good. You never have enough of it, especially in this game. You don't. It's like we're on the moon except we're underwater. Okay, these guys, they don't bother you, so don't mess with them. You can shoot them, but then they'll kind of swarm like piranhas and hit you if there are multiple ones in the air, so just leave them alone. Also, don't run into them, they'll do the same thing. But for the most part, they're harmless. Unless you harass them, then they will just run you over. Okay, there's another wall right here we can break. Okay, go straight through it. So you don't get stuck on the lip of the wall. Of course, this guy's trying to one-up me already as I get in the door. In some rooms that will happen. Enemies will like be right there, and they'll have like they'll try to one-up you as you come out the door. So be careful. I'm just knocking these guys over so they don't cause a problem. The trick does work here, surprisingly. Of course, the speed is scaled down proportionately to how the water will make you behave underwater. So just be aware of that. That worked. Oh wow, ambush. If you get ambushed, just hold your drill arm out and that'll knock them both away. I didn't see these two guys at all. Of course, I will get my vengeance. Excuse me. Yeah, my throat's been doing this weird thing lately where it's all like, oh, I'm gonna screw around with you. For some reason, but it's been here of late. It's been really funky in the weather. It's unseasonably warm here. Don't know why. Okay, I think we went in a circle, kind of, sort of. Well, anyway, like I said before, leave these guys alone. And be careful when you throw your blocks, because you can actually hit them and aggro them, so be careful. And of course, this one gets stuck into the treasure chest for a second. 20,000 saying. Okay, that's a current. Current says you are not passing, so you're not passing. You're gonna have to put something on the switch to keep it down so the current will stop. And voila, not a problem. Of course, I'm walking because I'm trying to be careful. Oh wow. Yep, another one of those apparently. Random ambush again. Oh wow! Double ambush. He didn't do that much damage, so I'm not too worried about it, but I'm trying to get out of his line of sight before he decides to run me over again. Of course, they aggro to you when you get close, so be careful. I believe there's another door, but I kind of don't care at the moment, so we'll leave it. When I come back around, I think I'll get to it. Hey, wall. Okay, there's another wall. I think this is somewhere else in the same kind of room. I'm not entirely sure. Alright. Yeah, it's these guys. Okay, to flip them over quickly without using your buster, just use your arm. If you maxed out the power, I believe it'll instantly flip them over. Because the amount of damage it does at one time.
I'm showing 3 Reaver bots nearby.
Nope.
They're big ones too. Be careful.
Like I said, this is the particular reason why I can't stress this enough. It's so slow and it's kind of annoying. It makes this ruin a lot longer than it needs to be, in my opinion. These guys, these guys, do not aggro them. They're like the smaller versions, except they react to sound. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can run across and take them all out. Of course, they will charge you many times, or go very slowly and don't aggro them and get through the room. But you know, it's like I'm moving at 0.25 speed by walking. Usually you can avoid conflict with them if you just walk. To walk, press the circle button and move and walk forward. Don't hold it, otherwise you'll use the hydro skates will make you jet forward, and that will basically just set them off to attack you. Other than that, I would suggest having a high attack power weapon if you're going to actually fight these guys. Finish them as fast as they can, because they rush you many times, especially if there's more than one. And that can be very annoying. This is, I think, the shortcut of the room, of the one big room that we're in, the big floor we're in. You can go around and avoid these guys, or like I said, you could just take them out with whatever weapon you have on you. I'm doing this just to show you can avoid conflict with them, but it's, again, the much slower route. Okay, once you take that painfully slow walk across the room, you're home free. And of course, this place has current day fog. So I wound up going backwards. Now I'm going to show you the other route where we actually kick their ass, or vice versa. At any rate, if you have the drill arm, you can use it defensively. Just piss them off and they'll charge you. And that's how you can use it defensively. If you're lucky, it will kill them like it did the first one, but take these guys out ASAP because they just basically charge the shit out of you. Keep an eye out and just use the drill as a defensive mechanism. Gotcha. Okay, and that's the faster route of the two. If you don't care about avoiding conflict. And they shoot missiles as well. If you kill them fast enough, they won't ever get it off, so it doesn't really matter. Their center part and their front part of the weakness as well. But they drop an okay amount of zenny, so pick it up. I kind of don't care at this point, because, I went in the circle like a dork, so don't worry about it. So slow. Okay, mini boss time. 3 of these guys. Okay, in this fight, keep moving. They shoot projectiles that actually home in on you, but since the water speed has affected the projectiles, it's easier to avoid them. If you can ever get them to sit still for a moment, you can actually use the drill arm to do quite a bit of damage, but that's most likely not going to happen. Also, if you sense the ball's getting close to you, jump. That way you can keep them from bothering you. Furthermore, they will spin. If they're spinning, only pierce weapons will affect them. And to make this boss fight a little easier, try to shoot all 3 of them and damage them equally over time. That way you don't, say, beat one and the other 2 at full life, and you can take just as long to defeat them as you would. As I said, all bosses' HPs are affected by the license you currently own. So be aware of that. This is going to be a long fight, because if you don't bring a special weapon on this fight, it'll be a longer fight. Because you'll have to rely on your buster. You really don't have much to say about it. If you can get them to sit still long enough, you can use your drill arm, but in this case, since I'm being chased, it's not a good idea to stop randomly. Because, those things are there. If you do stop, you can get a hit off of them, but so I can get a hit. Nope. Yeah, like I said, the silver or the little balls will affect you in such a way it'll hit you. I usually don't. I didn't never remember, but oh, I didn't buy a medicine bottle. Fuck. That sucks. The balls also have electricity attached to them. Just be careful not to touch them. I usually have the light barrier this time. Don't know why I didn't get it this time around. You'll be stuck in this trance for a little bit. Oh wow, look at his eyes. Oh, as you can see, Megaman's eyes went red there for a minute. Try to avoid being hit by these electrical spears because they slow you down quite a bit. I got lucky to the point where they didn't affect me that much. But like I said, keep moving. Oh fuck. Because they can inflict stun on you. Yeah, that blue was just pissing me off. He's the one who was spinning the most out of this whole time. Very long fight. With the Buster it is. Machine Buster not so much, Powered Buster not so much. But I wouldn't suggest standing still. You can actually use the Buster trick on these guys, but I wouldn't, like I said, advise standing still. Because you want to eat a shocky ball upside your head. They also do rush you at times, so be careful. Like they just try to do there. These balls, you'll have to fight these guys again later on, and you'll be fighting them at normal gravity or normal, you know, normal room circumstances. And the balls are harder to avoid there because they move faster, obviously. This could actually be quite a boring fight, actually. This is not the hardest mini-boss to fight in this game. It really isn't. Or mid-boss, I should say. These aren't really mini-bosses, the mid-boss. And don't let them rush you. Okay, apparently the rush is what made you just put the stun. Didn't know that. They never usually hit me with it, so I never knew to, you know, to tell you about it. And of course they wear off after time, but it's likely that they can rush you again. It's really freaking annoying. I'm playing like shit, I know. I apologize for that. I generally don't have fun with these guys at all. And they're just trolling me now. They're like, oh, we're gonna spin so you can hit us. There's not much else to say about this fight. This could be very long. Without the red special weapon, it could be very, very long. Like I said, take them, hit them evenly, all of them. That way it will make the fight much shorter instead of actually doing one at a time. If you have the Machine Buster, you should be able to do a nice amount of damage to them relatively quickly. Same with the Powered Buster. Per shot, you get more damage than you would with the Machine Buster, but... this battle pretty much is a battle of stamina, since their attacks are pretty easy to avoid. It doesn't matter, you know, not tiring out and starting to hurt. Once we get down to one of these guys, the pattern will change a little bit, how we fight them or how they react. But since, you know, you have them all whittled down evenly, you won't be seeing this last form very much, or the last phase very much. Okay, one down. Okay, you drop Zenny, but don't stop. It's not worth it, really, because, you know, you got small balls chasing you. Okay, the last one now. He'll spin more often and he'll actually drop missiles and things. He'll drop small explosives if you give him the chance. So be careful of this. Yeah, as you heard that noise, they drop small explosives, so be careful of that. But since you know he's next to dead already, it won't be a problem.
I'm reading what looks like a key, Mega Man. Do you see it?
Okay, you'll need this key. Does that key look familiar to you guys? It looks kind of like the bond key, doesn't it? Well, anyway, we're gonna have to cut it here because I'm trying to keep these movies 15 minutes so the file sizes aren't overly huge. But next time we'll continue with the second part of this ruin. So this is Protoman 111 signing off.